What's going on, guys? Welcome to the weekly technicals for Sunday, June 16th, 2019, and we're currently looking at the economic calendar. And just for you guys to kind of be aware, we do have FOMC on Wednesday, so ideally we want to be looking for trades Monday and Tuesday. And we don't really have too many high impact news events between Monday and Tuesday, but if you look on Thursday, we have the official bank rate and monetary policy summary and official bank rate votes for British pound during New York session. So we'll likely have a good bit of volatility for British pound this week. And really the markets are kind of in more so of that sideways consolidation period right now, especially with FOMC on the horizon. So definitely want to be cautious this week. Not really too much other than that to go over with the economic calendar, but let's see if we can get rid of this. Alright, so looking at the dollar index on a daily chart, you guys can see that we pretty much had a nice little rally back up. So I was looking for a continued move to the downside, seeing if we can act as resistance off of this ICT bearish order block, and we've proceeded to still trade higher. So now that we're back above 97 big figure, my eyes go to these equal highs. So I don't really have a clear indication as to whether or not they're going to go lower or higher from here, because overall we're still in this larger consolidation. If we would have continued up past 98, 50 and so on, then it would be a different condition. But we came all the way back down and then we started pushing back up. So personally, I think we're going to get back above 98 big figure. That's just what my gut tells me. But really, we're kind of 50-50 on both sides here. So we could continue up, or we could even find some resistance and start selling off. So I would definitely advise sticking to more intraday or day trades this week. Don't really look for like swing trades or nothing like that. The market's still higher time frames and a pretty tight consolidation. Not really too much movement outside of this. So definitely keep on the lookout to see if they do want to get above 98 big figure. That's just based on what we've seen last week. My gut just tells me we're going to want to trade higher. If we look at the weekly chart, we are within a weekly ICT bearish order block, but we do have the equal highs, so that's really what I'm looking at. But like I said, we can kind of go both ways from here, so definitely be careful. And those of you in the premium group are definitely only going to be keeping our trades very tight this week. So we're only going to be looking for like 15-20 pips max per trade setup. So daily chart, dollar index really could go either way. But more so I'm leaning to believe that we're going to want to take it above these equal highs. So we'll see how they behave around 98 big figure. But overall, just be careful with what the markets are doing in here right now, especially with FOMC on Wednesday. Alright, so looking at euro dollar, very similar price action. So we kind of hovered, failed to break above this high last Friday, sold off, and we did not find support at this ICT bullish order block here. So again, we're trading within another ICT bullish order block, but we do have these equal lows. So if dollar index does indeed trade higher, then we'll probably see euro dollar take out these equal lows. But again, it's kind of in a situation where this could go both ways too, right? So we're in a bullish order block, could go higher, relative equal highs, as well as a bunch of buy side liquidity back here, but we also have sell side liquidity down here. So if dollar index trades higher, we'll probably see euro dollar fall a little bit lower. And I'm sure you guys are probably like, why is this weekly analysis not clear in terms of, what direction the market's heading? And personally, I just don't know. There's going to be times where I just don't know, and it's just periods of time that you definitely want to be more cautious in the market. So I may take one trade this week, I may take 0 trades this week. It really just comes down to, what the setup looks like, and it has to be clear. So depending on what dollar index does, what the market opened today and through Monday for London session, will pretty much determine how I'll be trading between Monday and Tuesday ahead of FOMC. So euro dollar, look for a continuation to the downside below these equal lows, especially if we get down below 11.50. then we'll more than likely see 1.11 big figure and maybe into the 1.10s as well. So keep an eye out for that. And if we look at GBP USD, nice little aggressive sell-off in here as well. So first target will be below this low here at 25.50, so only about 30-40 pips away from that. And then I'm looking at this low back here, so I'm kind of disregarding the wick and just looking at the bodies of these candles at 1.2480. So 24.80 to 25 big figure will likely be the next downside objective for British pound. And personally, I was looking for higher prices, so I actually was, buying this market, looking for, a trade above 1.2770s and back up into the 1.28s, and we didn't get that. So got to switch the gears, and like I said, just like all the other markets right now, we're just in a tough time period to really distinguish what the market's going to do. And this typically happens during the summertime. The market will typically go into like a consolidation, so you definitely want to be more cautious, especially with FOMC. And I know I keep bringing it up, but it's really important that you guys, keep that in the back of your mind, and you don't try to go, over leveraging your account or putting too much risk on the table when you have FOMC this week. So very low probability conditions are in the market for this week, so definitely make a note of that. So overall for British pound, look for 1.2550 and then 1.25 big figure if we get a continuation from there, especially if dollar index trades higher. Euro GBP, we're kind of stalled in here. We are sitting within an ICT bullish order block, so still looking for a continuation to the upside, which will definitely cause or likely cause either strength on euro, so euro dollar, and potential weakness on British pound USD. So we could definitely see a much larger sell-off than 25 big figure on British pound, especially if this thing continues rallying higher, especially with quick movements. Then we'll see a pretty solid sell-off in British pound in result of that, especially if dollar index trades higher as well. So definitely be watching out for that. And dollar CAD, damn, these things keep popping up. So dollar CAD came down pretty much perfectly to the bullish order block here. We were just off by a couple pips, but you could see the market basically gapped down initially, filled in, traded higher, and ultimately a continuation. So we're still within this ICT bearish order block here, but personally it looks like we're gonna kind of continue blowing through that, and then we have another ICT bearish order block at 1.35 big figure. So about 100 pips still. If we take it back above here, which will likely act as some form of resistance, and then we could come back down into this, which will be that 1.34 big figure. So definitely look for a continuation of 1.35s on dollar CAD if we can get that continuation to the upside on dollar index as well. And that's really all I'll be looking at for this week. So I know it's not a super long session. Not too much was talked about. There really isn't anything that I have my eye on in the markets right now. I'm pretty much just sitting on the sidelines unless something blatantly clear just sticks out, and then I want to act on that. But as of right now, still just kind of sticking to the sidelines, wait until the market gives me more information in terms of what the direction is going to be longer term, and that'll make for much higher probability setups on an intraday basis, day trade basis, longer term swing trade, and so forth. So that's it for this week, guys. Gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. If you have any questions, just drop a comment below this video, and I will talk with you guys in the premium group tomorrow morning for New York session, and also in the weekly review on Wednesday. And I will also talk with the rest of you on Sunday next week, and that will be in the weekly technicals video as well. So talk with you guys then. Have a good week, and talk to you soon.